If I could go back in time and talk to my 20-year-old self, I wouldn't start by saying, work harder, save everything, make the right choice. I'd start with one question. Do you know you don't have to get it right now? Because this is the biggest mistake we make before 30. We think we have to decide everything right away. Career, love, purpose, money. As if life were an exam with a deadline. But what if I told you that being wrong isn't wasting time? That changing your mind isn't weakness? And that the dreams you abandoned were actually the first steps toward the ones that came next? If you're between 20 and 35, or feel like you should be further ahead, this video is for you. And if you're over 35, it might be even more important. Because in just a few minutes, you'll hear something no one ever told you. Something that could change how you see every wrong choice, every path you left behind, every time you thought you failed. Let's begin at the beginning. At 20, everything feels urgent. You need to pick a college major, land a good job, be in a serious relationship, look successful on social media, and beneath it all, a quiet voice whispers, if you don't get it right now, you'll miss life. But hear the truth. Nobody really knows what they're doing. Nobody has the map. Nobody saw the future. And the people who seem on track on the timeline, many are faking it or running to hide the emptiness. There's an invisible belief that controls us. Life is linear. You go to college, right arrow, graduate, get a job, marry, buy a house, right arrow, retire. But the truth is different. Life is a maze, and a maze doesn't have shortcuts. It has turns, dead ends, doors that close behind you. And every turn is information. You didn't waste time when you quit that career. You discovered what wasn't for you. And that's priceless. Ask yourself, how many times did you change your mind and feel guilty? Wanted to be a doctor but gave up. Entered tech but felt out of place. Tried entrepreneurship but quit halfway. And then you thought, I'm inconsistent. I have no focus. I'll never get anywhere. But what if I told you that changing your mind is emotional intelligence in action? Because only those who listen change. Only those who notice let go. Only those who retreat understand that moving forward would be dishonest. And that isn't failure. It's courage. Have you noticed that your greatest lessons come from the decisions you thought were mistakes? The relationship that ended taught you what you truly need in love. The job you hated showed you where you never want to return. The dream you left behind made space for another, more aligned with who you became. But at the time, it all felt like loss. And here's the first big secret. You don't need to know the destination. You just need to trust the path. Because every wrong choice was a step. Every ending was a new beginning in disguise. And every failure was a teacher without a diploma. And this is where many would click away. Because it's easy to hear this and think, but I want to get it right. I want to do everything correctly. I don't want to waste time. But what is wasting time? Is it trying? Is it feeling? Is it changing? Or is it simply not accepting that you're alive, learning, evolving? In the next block, I'll show you something no one told you about ambition and how it might be holding you exactly where you don't want to be. Stay until the end, because what comes next could change everything. Have you ever stopped to think that maybe your ambition is wrong? Not because it's small, but because it's not yours. See, at 20, our ambition doesn't come from within. It comes from what we grew up seeing. My uncle is an engineer and has money. My cousin lives in the US. Everyone says medicine is safe. And so we choose not out of passion. We choose out of security, validation, emotional survival. And then a false ambition is born. One that seems to shine, but drains you from the inside. True ambition doesn't shout. It whispers. It shows up in stolen moments. When you should have been studying, but were writing. When you should have been in a meeting, but doodled in your notebook. When everyone wanted partying, but you chose a book. These are the moments that reveal who you really are. Not what the world expects of you. But we ignore them. Because they don't bring status. They don't impress. They don't pay the bills. And so we bury the true desire under a solid career. Here's a real example. A woman works as a lawyer for 10 years. She's successful, has money, recognition. But every morning, putting on her blazer, she feels a weight in her chest. One day, she finds an old poetry notebook, opens it, cries, and realizes, I didn't give up on writing. I betrayed myself. And it's not just writing. It's dance, music, caregiving, travel, simply existing without rush. How many of us buried these because we thought they weren't ambitious enough? Now a hard question. Are you living your ambition or someone else's ambition for you? Because there's a difference. Someone else's ambition is heavy. It carries expectations, demands results, punishes mistakes. But yours, even when it hurts, it has lightness. It has meaning. It has fire. And it doesn't need to be huge. It just needs to be true. Have you heard about purpose? Everyone talks about it now. But few understand. Purpose isn't a grand mission. It's an inner direction. It's what you do even without getting paid. What keeps you awake at night? What makes you say, this fills me? And it doesn't show up on your resume. It shows up in your heart. And if your purpose isn't saving the world, but simply comforting those who suffer, or creating beauty, or living in peace, does it still count? Yes, more than anything. And here we pause, because now you understand. It's not about getting it right. It's about aligning. And if you're in that moment of doubt, of transition, of exhaustion with what you've built, know this: you're not behind. You're just starting to listen to yourself. In the next block, I'll tell you what no one told you about dreams, and why letting go of a dream can be the greatest act of self-love. Stay until the end, because this could free you from guilt you've carried for years. Have you ever felt shame for giving up on a dream? For leaving behind what you once swore you'd do? If so, you need to hear this now. Letting go of a dream isn't weakness. It's maturity. Because dreams are born from an earlier version of you. The child who wanted to be an astronaut. The young adult who thought fame would bring happiness. The person who believed love would fix everything. And as you grow, those dreams may no longer fit. But we keep pushing, because quitting feels like betrayal. And so, we keep chasing something we no longer want, just so we don't look like we failed. Here's a rare truth. Having a dream doesn't mean you have to fulfill it. Just like loving someone doesn't mean you have to stay. Some dreams are just stages. They're bridges. They're clothes we wear while growing. And when they no longer fit, returning them with gratitude is far wiser than wearing them until they tear. Have you ever heard this? Quitting is for the weak. But what if I told you that quitting consciously is for the strong? Because only those who look deep see that they no longer want it. Only those who love themselves have the courage to let go. And letting go isn't losing. It's choosing to live with authenticity. You didn't fail. You evolved. Now imagine this. You're 50 years old. You look back, and you see a dream you let go of, a career you changed, a love that ended, a city you left. And instead of thinking, "I wasted so much time," you smile and say, "Every choice brought me here. And here, I am happy." That's not failure. That's a journey. And this journey only exists because you had the courage to change. So if you're 20, 30, 40, or feel like you're behind, I need you to hear this. You're not lost. You're finding yourself. And it doesn't matter how many times you changed direction, how many dreams you left behind, how many doors you closed. You're still at the beginning. Because time isn't your enemy. It's your ally. And every breath you take is a new chapter about to begin. Thank you for watching until the end. If this resonated with you, maybe it's because you too are learning to listen to yourself. And if so, know this: you're on the right path. Until next time.